would say I'm a little nervous, but I know each and every one of you, so, and I do look at some of your Tonga County. It warms my heart for those of you who have come back to see me again, because you don't have to be here. You have chosen to be here, and that does warm my heart very much. So, a few house rules, just so you know, has nothing to do with Tonga County. But if you don't like what you hear, please throw the soft cookies. And if you, if what I say makes you sick, please go outside the door to toss your cookies. Okay? So, the very first question I have to ask, and this is, you might have heard this before, is what is the number one thing that couples fight about?
Money.
Money. Kids. Okay, what else? Anything else?
Whether or not to take the kids back.
Take the kids back. I've also heard sex, but apparently I've never, that's never been an issue. And I couldn't talk about that up here because then I would be having to take a walk over to Shady Pines to HR. So that is off the table. But really, if you think about it, the number one thing couples argue about is driving. Think about it, okay? Is, does your better half drive you crazy when you're driving? Now, if you say, no, I just like the idiosyncrasies that my better half does, or quirkiness. Well, first of all, you haven't been together long enough. Or you're the one driving the other person crazy. So that's just how there is too. Let me tell you a little bit about my, I have a deficiency. I have two brain cells up here that talk, Siri and Google. And when they talk, the GPS, they don't know where they're going. And I get lost a lot. So, and to give you an example, my friends will tell you that when I go outside the door, I'm looking for my car, and it could be parked right outside the door. Which is why I always get a bright colored car. I could never get silver because I would still be at Walmart today. So I get a bright colored car. And to give you another example, I was coming out of an appointment, and I got out and I went to my car, and I thought to myself, I don't remember parking this close. And so I went to my car door, and this is when you were using keys, okay? And my key wasn't quite working, but I jiggled it and jiggled it and jiggled it. I finally got it to work. And I opened up the door, and it's like, I don't remember my car smelling like smoke. And then I looked, and I don't remember a cane being in the passenger side. And then I realized, this isn't my car. And so I looked around, and I locked the door and shut the door, and then looked around, and sure enough, a block and a half away, there was my car. It's like, oh yeah, I remember walking a bit to get to my appointment. So, there's that. And this happens to me all the time. So, there's that. Let's tell you about driving each other crazy. So, the one thing that you need to know is that, first of all, you never tell a lesbian that they drive like a man. And did. Which is why I'm still standing, because I know when to keep my mouth shut. And ladies, you know what I'm talking about, because you're driving, you know, she's driving, and we get up and it's like stop sign, stop, stop. Seatbelt works. Okay. Red light, we're coming to a red light. Coming to the red light. Yep, seatbelt works. And you know, it's really bad when you come up to your friends and they go, Tony, you really are too old to have a hickey. And I'm like, what? No hickey. Short drive with lots of red lights, and out of one of them, great. So, you know, what can I say? And she goes, you are just overreacting, you know. And I'm going, okay. And, but when I'm on the other end of the spectrum, she says that your driving makes me sick. Literally. And so, anytime we would go on a trip, she would have to take motion sickness medicine when I drove. So, we would, you know, here you go. Did you take your Dramamine? Yes. So, unfortunately, she took the kind that kept you awake, so she could see everything. And then when I turned 60, I thought, you know, for myself, I really wanted a Jeep Gladiator. And so I went down, and I wasn't going to get a plain Jane one because I'm 60, you know. We're going downhill from there. And so I'm going to order what I want on that Jeep Gladiator. No more basic stuff. Leather seats, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the very first thing I ordered as a custom piece of equipment was $250 death grip. So that she could hang on to for dear life. Now, granted, this is a Jeep Gladiator, and anybody, my Jeep friends, anybody that owns a Jeep or knows a Jeep knows that there are like 50 things you can grab onto in a Jeep. You don't need an extra one, but she did. So she could hang on to it and go, and is air coming out of my tire? You know? And then if that was enough, she did not like to listen to music. You know, she wanted quiet. I love to listen to music. Okay, and so when it's quiet, it's like, did you hear that? What? Hear what? That noise. The truck's making a noise. What noise? I didn't hear anything. And you don't even have your hearing aids on. So how can you hear that? So, no, I heard something. Hang on a minute. Let me turn the radio off. We're not hearing any noise. See? Noise fixed. So, and then obviously, when we get into town, you're gonna have to turn the radio on so we can see better. Because that's all about that. You know. But on the plus side, when Margie would be driving, she would always she would brag about how good of a navigator I was. Okay, because I could read maps. This is back when you read maps. Okay, for those of you young people, that is not GPS. Okay, that's like a paper thing. Anyway, so yeah, she's a great navigator. People thought, oh, that's really cool. Okay, here's the truth. We're driving down the road. You do not know where we're going. I don't think you do. Hand me the map. grab the wheel. What? What? That would mean I'm driving. Oh no. And she's holding the map up like this. We're in Dallas. You know? Stoplight, stop sign, stop. Seatbelt still works, you know. Never mind about the brakes, you know, good thing, new car. So, and then one time we were coming back, my brother had passed away, and it was December, Christmas time. So Minnesota, poured down, blizzard. You couldn't even see in front of your face. And so we're driving from Minnesota to Wisconsin, and couldn't go maybe 20 miles an hour on the interstate. And every few seconds, there's a car in the ditch, and I'm driving because I grew up there, which it had been 40 years since I drove in that kind of weather, but it's okay. There's a car in the ditch, I know. Driving behind a plow, a snow plow. You're doing really good. There's a car in the ditch. Oh, dear Lord. Would you like some Dramamine? But in all honesty, in the 25 years, you know, you get used to each other's driving, and the road trips and the adventures. You really don't want to drive with anyone else because the driving is the adventure, you know. One more story, and that is I live in Marshall, so we were just going to Whataburger, but Margie likes to take the residential area, and not every part of Marshall is, you know, great. And we're driving down the road, and there was this, well, half-naked woman. She was wearing very little, just undergarments, and she was waving down the road. Help me. And people were driving around her, you know. And Margie was driving, and she stopped. And the woman says, call 911, you know. My boyfriend hit me or pulled my hair or something. And she stopped. And she called 911. And my first thought was, and my first question was, why didn't you call 911? You have a phone in your hand, you know, and we're old. You know, we don't own guns. We did not have any weapons in the car. And then I thought that she goes, oh, just get in the back of the car. What? Okay. You have no clothes on. You know? And then it took, you know, this was not a good neighborhood. It took the police 20 minutes to get there. But we did ask the right questions, you know. Are there guns in the house? Are there children in the house? You know. And the police finally came, and so we got, and I'm going, you have no clothes. You need to get some clothes on. And that was my biggest concern. And so she didn't want to leave, and she was hanging on to the door, and Mark had to finally go around to the car and pull her off of the door, and the cops got her in, and please get some clothes on her, you know, and get her to wherever she needs to go. And we finally get to where we needed to be. We were at Whataburger, and I texted her adult daughter and said, Rhonda, your mother let a half-naked woman in the back of the car. Please call her. So, anyway, it was all good. And she would never let me do that, just FYI. But anyway, you want to, the adventure is there, and after 25 years, it was all good. You wouldn't want to be with anyone else. I mean, for goodness sake, who else would you put behind the wheel? Your child? Oh. Who taught you to drive? Your father. So, thank you for playing. And by the way, if you do drive with me, I still carry Dramamine.